It's now time for SME On Point. Against the backdrop of a weak economy, some businesses are finding it very difficult to grow. Even under these circumstances, Mathebe Ngwenya, the founder of Beauty on Tapp, a beauty e-commerce and retail platform, is preparing to open her 6th store soon. SME On Point visited the once banker, now turned entrepreneur, to find out how she's doing it. Just last month, the business celebrated its 10th anniversary. The business offers a curated mix of more than 80 local and international skincare, hair care and wellness brands. It also employs over 50 young women across its operations. Here's how our conversation went. Tell me about your journey, first of all. I've watched you grow, you said 5 stores. From being a banker to being an entrepreneur, what gave you the push?
I was in banking for 8 years, and I obviously did articles for 3 years, so I worked in corporate for 11 years. And I side hustled Beauty on Tapp for years. I was really scared to take the leap to kind of like go into entrepreneurship full time. But during COVID, I was just working 2 jobs, and it was just strenuous on my mental health. And the business was just also growing so fast that it needed me to be fully dedicated. And so that's what really gave me the push. I always said I'd never leave Beauty on Tapp to just go sit in jail and do nothing. So when I resigned, I knew that there was work for me to do, and that's when I then went full-time into Beauty on Tapp, and it's been 3.5 years of doing that.
Right. So the journey of hustling and doing side hustles is something that most people do, and I'm sure that our viewers also do. But do we know how to do it properly for it to one day flourish to become a Beauty on Tapp in 3, soon to be 5, soon to be 6 locations?
Yes, soon to be 6. So I think a lot of entrepreneurs, especially like in the early 2010s, like 2012, when you had your Facebooks and your Instagrams just blowing up, and there was this trend of overnight success businesses. A lot of entrepreneurs kind of believed in tech and just took the big leap into business without really side hustling it. And so there is value in side hustling, learning from the company you work for, from a process perspective, how to grow a business, how to engage your stakeholders, little things that you can learn in corporate, as well as just funding your business. Funding is so hard to come by in South Africa, and so for me, it was pivotal for me to stay in corporate just to learn, and I chose roles strategically to learn, as well as then using my salary and bonuses to fund Beauty on Tapp, and didn't really have to go out and get funding.
Yeah. If anyone is following your journey, they'll know of the queue that was here when you opened this store, the queue that was at the other mall when you opened that store. Why do you think customers are drawn to your product so much? I mean, there's a lot of people who are doing skincare and all sorts of hair care. Why do you think brought you this success?
I think for me it's always been about community building, and I always say that community is not just about converting to rands and cents. It's not just about making money. It's about building a community that can give you feedback, that can guide you, that can tell you, why don't you guys think about this? And so having that kind of thought process and thinking of every single person in our business, not just people who exchange money with us, is what's brought us community. And I remember long ago there were people in varsity who'd be like, oh, I'm still in varsity, I can't wait to shop at Beauty on Tapp when I start working. And so that's the community that we now see coming through to our stores and supporting the brand quite a lot. So it's all been about community building, not just thinking of how we can make money, and also just educating people on what they're buying. It's not just about selling necessarily.
The role of e-commerce generally in all the economies worldwide is one that is growing in exponential terms. What are the trends are you seeing here in South Africa, having been in different places physically and online as well? And I see you've also pivoted to different payment methods that other retailers are also using.
I think, the internet has made the world so small. Like, you can't say what people are doing internationally and saying it's going to trickle here years later. We kind of have to stay like on par now, because the international e-commerce stores that deliver here within 3 days now. So you have to compete. I think obviously AI is a big thing right now. Using AI within our website, within our stores is really important. We have skin analysis, which is using technology to help people understand their skin a little better, as well as what they should should use. And so I think tech is really coming to the fore. There's a lot of Korean skincare that's really popular right now, and we're kind of trying to stay on track with that because they, not even e-commerce, just from a technology perspective, are doing really well. So we're trying to stay on par with international trend and just compete with international retailers as well. From an e-commerce perspective, we get a lot of international orders as well. So we're trying to compete globally.
You're not only competing globally but locally as well. How difficult has it been to encourage or draw in all these brands that we see here to come and sit with yours, your in-house brand, and to make it a one whole shopping experience?
I think reputation has played a really, really big role. Just being a really great stakeholder, how you engage with brands, how you guys communicate, converse, how you guys use each other's synergies to build each other's brands has been really important. And I think just from the brands that we've had and how they've seen us grow with other brands, they've kind of trusted us to then come in and bring their brands. I mean, we have Korean skincare brands that contact us and say we want to work with you guys, local brands that want to work with us as well. So it's been really exciting to just build each other up as brands, and we get really great support from the big brands as well who want to see us grow. So it's been a journey, and I think we've been holding each other's hands through it.
And lastly, as I said, there are a lot of people that watch us who are side hustling. What tips do you have for them to one day see their business grow as much as yours has?
I think the biggest tip I have is just because your business is making money, it's not the right time to jump and become full-time in your business. You always have to assess, is it the right time for me to leave? You don't want to drown your business with your own personal expenses. So take your time, really sit and analyze the financials to understand, is it the right time for me to leave? And I think you'll know in your gut, and you'll know after analyzing whether it is the right time. So just because you're side hustling, it doesn't mean when your business starts making money, you should leave. Just take it easy and analyze and think through when you should do it.
It's a great example of showing how businesses can start from a side hustle level and up to, a brick and mortar, a thriving online business. And we wish that your business could also experience the same success. To this story now, AI is transforming and dominating every industry, and it's important for businesses to know how to use and balance it. Businesses need to adapt by learning how to use AI effectively without replacing any human values. So with AI dominating, the founder of Spot Media, Rusine Peterson, in partnership with the Western Cape Blood Service, recently held a hands-on AI workshop, and they were guiding participants on responsible and ethical use of AI. Rusine joins us live to explain more on what the workshop was about. Rusine, welcome to SME On Point. Always a great pleasure speaking to you. The previous conversation I just had with Mathebe, she mentioned there about the importance of technology integration as well as AI in the rise of e-commerce, and I think you may have touched on this during your workshop. Do tell us about what came out of that and the most salient points with regards to AI and business.
Good afternoon, Liabo. Thank you so much for having me here today. And the workshop was conducted in partnership with the South African National Blood Transfusion Congress. And this was a week-long conference and event that took place. There had different speakers pulling in attendees from international level and local level. And one of the objectives for us and for me was to come in and to do a one-day workshop focused on AI. And what we did was we looked at different tools. We looked at how members can engage these various tools, how they can use it in everyday life, and also in the business. And then also looked at certain scenarios within the healthcare sector, in particular in terms of how AI is actually being used and being incorporated at the moment. And so at the end of the day, what we really wanted was for people to feel more confident in themselves and in these various AI tools. One of the conversations that we had in planning for this particular workshop was that there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of concern around AI, how to use it, and not even familiar with the various terms. And so our objective here was really to make it informative, make it educational, and make sure that when attendees actually leave, that they feel empowered, they feel more confident with regards to AI and how to use it every day in their workspaces.
Yeah, I am pressed for time, but I'm going to ask this last question to you about which websites and which apps should an SME owner or an entrepreneur definitely must have to make sure that their business is thriving and that they are on top of their game.
Yeah, so there are multiple AI tools that businesses and entrepreneurs can use every single day. I think what's important is to identify your strengths and weaknesses when it comes to your business, whether it is operations, whether it is finance, whether it is processes, whether it is marketing, and then to see how AI can be incorporated to support your business and to enhance it. So a simple example is if you as an individual, as part of your role or responsibility is to create presentations, and it takes you perhaps maybe weeks, it takes you maybe a month for some people to create presentations. You can use a simple AI tool called Gemini.
Okay.
And Gemini literally allows you to create that presentation within a couple of minutes.
Right.
This is one exercise which we performed on the day in that workshop, and we tested it. And you are able to create 10 slides based on your topic, based on your specific theme.
Yeah.
And once again, it saves you time so that you can then focus on other aspects of your business.
Sure.
There are different other tools as well that you can use. You've got ChatGPT, you've got Claude, you've got Sandbox, you've got Opus Clip. Some of the tools are for video, some of the tools are for strategy, some of the tools are for managing emails. So depending where you are from a business perspective, what your weaknesses are, what your strengths are, I would say that would then kind of create a direction for you in terms of what type of tool to use to look at implementing in your business.
Fantastic. Christine, thank you so much for plugging us. I will definitely look into those different tools, and I hope that this has been quite valuable for our viewers at home, those who follow SME On Point. He mentioned a couple of apps. I would encourage you, if you did miss that, you will find this interview and the previous one that we did on our Facebook page. Our handle is at SME On Point. Before the end of today, we would have posted that for you, and you can really listen to it at your own time. Remember to support small businesses and in your communities. Let's let those rands and cents circulate.